Hi, this is Jane from Golden House Tarot, and this reading is for Leo for June 2018. It's a general reading, so it won't relate for everybody. We'll go through the cards that you've drawn: the King of Wands, the Three of Swords, Strength, the Tower, the Devil, Temperance, King of Cups, King of Swords, and the Two of Swords. May was a difficult month, I think, for a lot of Leos. I think that there was a lot of energy in the air, a lot of stress around work, perhaps even around home. It's been a month of change. Astrologically, there are big changes happening over the next couple of months. All the star signs seem to be going through periods of, quite dramatic changes in different areas of their life. For me, I feel that these are continuing for you through June, but there is still some upheaval going to happen, but I feel that you're moving forward in a very positive direction. We have three kings here. Now, that's quite unusual. They're very strong personalities. When you get three kings in a reading with only a few cards like this, they represent almost the management of an organisation, the parliament, the CEOs. It's got that kind of energy around it. People of power. And they've all got, their strengths and their weaknesses, and they've all got the characteristics and the things that they feel that are important on the board. So, that energy is still there around this reading, that there may be some conflicting agendas happening and a lot of very strong characters. But what I can say from this reading is that you have the strength to manage this. Your biggest challenge is going to be finding balance this month. I think that it's going to be a very busy month for you with some changes happening. Let's go through the cards and we'll work out what each one represents, and then we'll try and put the story together. The King of Wands represents to me the Leo male, very assertive, strong, creative, passionate, looks after his kingdom, helps people, but a real sort of man's man, a leadership kind of person. If it represents you, then these are the qualities that you're going to need to get you through this month. If it's somebody that you're working with, then that's a balance that you're going to have to find, because they will be assertive, if you want to have more influence, then you've got to know how to manage somebody who's that strong character. Here we've got the Three of Swords. It says to me that there has been some disillusionment, perhaps heartbreak. It often relates to a romantic situation, but sometimes it's just about disillusionment in career or health, or something you were working on that disappointed you and fell apart. This has happened. You're still feeling the effects of that disappointment. What you have to do here is dig deep. It's saying, look within, learn the lesson from this disappointment. We don't forget these kinds of things when they happen to us, but if we learn the message, if we get the message, if we understand what happened, sometimes that's enough to help us through the next situation, and also to say, okay, it didn't work, now it's time for me to move on and look forward. And the reason that I'm saying that here, this is what the kind of inner strength that you need is you need to focus on your own abilities and what you want to do next. You've got the infinity sign here, but also because you've got the Tower card. The Tower card is about upheaval. It's about change that we weren't expecting, perhaps we didn't want, but it's something that's just got to happen to move us forward. It's to give us some momentum. It's to say, okay, you can't sit on the fence any longer. This is just all going to be knocked down, and you're going to have to make a decision and move on. It's about getting rid of the things in life that don't work for us. Now, if you've had some of these periods over the last couple of months, you might be feeling just a little over it all, and a little sort of, oh, I don't want to deal with any more upset or upheaval. But the Tower promises good things. It just means that you've got to work through. You've got to go with the flow. The best way to manage the Tower is just to go with the flow and let the change happen that's happening, because it needs to happen. Your caution here is the Devil card, and all the Devil card represents is our own inner fear. It's we get into a comfort zone, we get addicted to a place or a job or a person or a substance, because it gives us a sense of feeling safe and comfortable. And so, the fear for us is actually accepting the change and moving on. This means you have to look at that fear, and you have to say, it's just holding me back. Because that's why this change is happening, because you've been stagnant, you've been stuck in a situation or a rut of some sort. And this is saying, we're going to help you through this. We're going to create a scenario, a situation that's just going to make you make a decision about something else and moving forward. Here we have the Temperance card. This is to help you, find that balance that you need this month. I don't think life has been that balanced for you in the last few months. I think that you've had a lot on your plate, a lot of responsibility, or a lot of change, or a lot of upheaval, movement, or even just general worry. But Temperance is saying you need to take a breath. You need to stop, look around, take a breath. You need to find time for yourself. I know that's a hard thing. People say, there isn't me time. I don't have time. I've got the kids. I've got work. I've got, I've got obligations. I've got this. But it's amazing how much time we waste worrying about the things we have to do, instead of making that our time. And that can be even just, a half an hour's meditation. It can be a 10-minute walk through the park at lunchtime just to clear your head. It can be, go and lie in bed with a book. Don't get the iPad out, or something that's going to stimulate your brain. Put some meditation music on, or some quiet music, or the radio, or try and forget about the things that are going around in your head, because Temperance is saying to me that you need to find some balance this month and some time for yourself. And it doesn't have to be a lot of time, but a little bit of time will make a big difference to how you deal with the changes that are going through. The King of Cups is a very reassuring card to me, because it says there is someone around you that wants to help you. The King of Cups, he helps people. His job is to be benevolent. He wants to do the right thing by people. He wants to give good advice. He wants to give them a helping hand. He wants to look after his flock, or his congregation, or his the people around him that he's responsible for. So there is, when the King of Cups comes, it says there is support there. He's still a leader. He's still strong. And what he wants is for you to have security. He wants you to feel safe. So if you need some assistance, or you just need some time, maybe this is a person you say, I need a day off this month, or I need an hour to myself, or if I'm going to finish this project, then I need this half a day put aside. I don't want interruptions. Or if you've got to help somebody in the family, well, you've got to say, this is the help that I need, or I want to do for somebody else. But the King of Cups is there to help you make that happen. The King of Swords also will help, but he's a little more forthright in the way he helps. He's saying that you've just got to tell the truth. You've just got to be clear about what you want, because people aren't going to help if you hint. The King of Swords is saying you've got to be really clear. You've got to say what you want. You've got to be assertive. You've got to kind of take charge of the situation and say, okay, this is the way I'm going to do it. And I think it's important when you see these three kings to understand that When they've come out in the reading, they're saying to you to take charge of the situation and not be afraid that it's going to create this more conflict for you. It may create more conflict, but it will actually create resolution as well. The Two of Swords is an interesting card because it says to me there's a stalemate. You kind of, and it relates very well to this card, because when the Two of Swords comes out, there's a choice to be made. And your head and your heart are battling each other here. So you kind of feel stuck about what to do and what direction to go in. And that's fine. There's no rush to make that decision. When the Strength card comes out, it's saying listen to your inner self. Listen to your own intuition. You know what's right. If something sounds too good to be true, it is. If something sounds a little off, it is. Just listen to that gut feeling, and you know that will help you make a decision. But also, because you know that's your inner side, that's your heart telling you what to do. Your head is also saying there are people here who can give you good advice and information. There's nothing wrong with using both to make a decision, to use your heart and your head. You know, listen to the facts, listen to the information, get advice, and then do what feels right, because that's what this card is saying to me. I think it's going to be a very interesting month for you, Leo. It's going to be hard work again, but you know, you're used to hard work and you're a very strong and capable sign. This change is a really good thing for you. It's moving you away from a difficult time, but try and find some time for yourself and try and find a little bit of balance, and it will help you through this. Don't feel pressured by this decision. You know, listen to your heart, listen to your head, and then just make the decision. Take advice. You'll know the right time. This says to me you'll know the right time. Try and not to feel overwhelmed by the situation, because this card is saying that there's a lot going on, and because of the change, because of the circumstances, because of all the strong characters around you, you know, sometimes you can just feel a little overwhelmed by it all. You know, step back and it'll all sort itself out. I hope, Leo, that you have a brilliant June, and I look forward to talking to you again next month. Thank you.